The romance genre is infamous for having a diverse group of anime. You'll find drama, thriller, science fiction, and even paranormal stuff mixed in with some good old romance stories. And while I appreciate a touch of spice in my romantic shows, it can sometimes get overwhelming and leave you feeling lost and sad. That's precisely why every now and then I love binging on those wholesome romance shows that make you grin like a child the moment you start watching. And in this video, I'm going to tell you guys about my top 10 wholesome romance anime that are so cute and sweet that you're gonna need an insulin shot after every single episode. We're starting off our list with Say I Love You, an anime that came out more than a decade ago. The story follows a gloomy girl who's saved from her eternal loneliness by an extremely cool guy. Now I know this plot seems cliched today, but in 2012 it was kind of unique, especially since the anime felt real in its depiction of insecurities and loneliness. And while it discussed some serious stuff, this is a rather light-hearted anime for the most part. The chemistry between our protagonist Mei and her ultra-popular boyfriend Kurosawa is on point, and it even leads to some really funny moments. Their relationship also moves at a good pace, which is probably why this anime felt so realistic when I watched it a few years ago. So do check it out whenever you have a craving for a wholesome slice of life anime. The next anime on our list is The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten, which, as some of you might know, just finished airing. Now I'ma be honest, I thought I had lost my hunger for these cute shoujo shows, but for some reason I just kept tuning in to watch this anime every single weekend. And while this title reminded me of ecchi shows of the past, this anime is actually the most innocent one on the list, which is saying a lot. It tells the story of how by some miracle, our protagonist Amane finds himself getting pampered by Mahiro, who once again happens to be the most popular girl in his school. But unlike most popular characters, Mahiru is very down to earth. She's also extremely empathetic and helps Amane get his shit together. And through their daily interactions, they not only forge a strong friendship, but also develop feelings for each other. And these feelings often lead them to extremely cute moments. But don't think for a second that it's just another cringe romance, because there's a lot of depth in these characters, and the show will only get better in upcoming seasons. At number 8, we come to Taisho Otome Fairy Tail, an anime that showed a very different kind of romance. It tells the story of Tomohiko, who's been abandoned by his extremely wealthy family because of his disability. Now, he's trying to live out the rest of his days in rural Japan in the early 1900s. And just when he's about to lose his will to live, a little girl named Yazuki shows up at his door and claims to be his future wife. And while Tomohiko is indifferent towards her, she ends up becoming his reason to live. She inspires him to make the best of his circumstances and to chase his dreams, even if he knows he'll never achieve them. Honestly, this is such a beautiful story, and it's really well produced, which is something you can't say about many romance anime these days. Up next, we have Romantic Killer, which is one of the best sleeper hits of 2022. I remember coming across it while scrolling through the Netflix catalogue, and I'm glad that I did, because it's one of the most interesting romance anime I've seen in a while. It tells the story of Anzu, who's trying her best to not fall in love. Unfortunately, hot guys start popping into her life, no matter how much she tries to avoid such encounters. And even though she really doesn't want any romance, she starts getting involved in the lives of these boys, and before she knows it, they become special to her. For the first time in her life, she feels comfortable being with someone else, and she's not the only one experiencing such bliss. She also helps these boys to find the human connection they've been searching for all their lives. It's a really big W for Netflix, because everything about this anime slaps. It has a great protagonist, a lot of hilarious moments, and also enough romance to keep you on the edge of your toes the entire show. Coming up at number 6 is Tonikawa, an anime that brought so many new fans to the world of romantic comedies thanks to its extremely wholesome romance between Nasa and Tsukasa. It starts off when Tsukasa saves our MC Nasa during a freak accident, and while Nasa is thankful, he's also infatuated with this beautiful girl who seemingly came out of nowhere and saved his life. Eventually, the two of them end up getting married, and from this point on, we witness love bloom bloom between these two while they try to settle into the life of a married couple. While most romance anime bring up twists to try to create drama and tension, there's no such thing here. Instead, you will find hilarious scenarios which will keep you smiling through every single episode. Moving on, we have My Dress Up Darling at number 5 on our list. Now, it might just be recency bias, but I truly feel that the last few years have been great for wholesome romantic comedies, and this anime became quite literally the poster child for such anime in 2022. This extremely well-produced anime follows Gojo as he prepares intricate costumes for Marin. How these two polar opposites ever became friends is something I want you to find out for yourself, but I will say one thing: they're probably the most exciting couple on this list. I mean, it feels as if they're developing in every episode, and this character development is accompanied by romantic moments which feel organic and honest. The whole artistic side of this anime is also a treat, and if you like fun romantic comedies, this is the anime for you. At number 4, we have Maid Sama, which has stood the test of time and has remained one of my favourite romantic comedies ever since I first watched it almost a decade ago. The masterpiece from JC Staff shows us the love story of Student Council President Misaki and school idol Takumi. True to the romantic comedies of the old, this anime is kinda slow, but once Takumi takes over Misaki's life, you'll be blessed with some of the funniest and most romantic scenes in all of anime. There's teenage drama, there's mystery, and there's a lot of swag here. But most importantly, there's also a ton of character development, which was rare back when it first came out. Our main characters feel independent and show emotions that complement each and every scene perfectly. We also have a lot of interesting side characters who get enough screen time to leave a big impression. So all in all, this is a true romance classic that you absolutely need to watch. Next up, we have probably the most popular anime on this list. If you haven't figured it out yet, I'm talking about Horimiya, an anime that broke all sorts of viewership records thanks to its excellent depiction of teenage romance. The romance in question begins when Hori finds out that her mysterious classmate Izumi is not only really nice, but also an extremely cool guy. This realization makes her interested in him, and he starts coming over to her place to hang out. All of a sudden, they both find someone who can accept them for who they are. Luckily, they don't try to hide their feelings, and we get a romance that's grounded, but also so epic. The moments they share are mesmerizing, and the great animation only adds to the happiness you feel while watching this anime. So as far as I know, it truly deserves the popularity it has. At the runner-up spot, we have My Love Story, which I'm sure many of you expected to find on this list, and for good reason. It has given us probably the most wholesome male protagonist in all of anime. Takeo-kun is a legend. He is hardworking, honest to a fault, and most importantly, extremely kind. And while these characteristics have earned him the admiration of every boy in his class, girls have always made fun of him for his huge stature. But one day, his luck turns, and he meets Rinko, who realizes that underneath his intimidating physique is the kindest, coolest human being she has ever met. And the way she expresses her love is so damn cute that I didn't even know if I was worthy of watching something so nice. In addition to this love story, we also get a lot of bromance, action, and intriguing tropes that allow these characters to shine. So stop skipping on this one because of how Takeo looks, because you're missing out on a real gem here. Now, before we reveal the most wholesome anime on this list, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any future uploads like this. And that brings us to Fruits Basket, which in my humble opinion is the most wholesome romantic anime of all time. Now, I've shared my love for Fruits Basket in other videos as well, but I never really explained what makes it so great. You see, it doesn't have the greatest animation or mind-blowing production. What it does have, however, is a story so deep and touching that you won't be able to get it out of your mind for a long, long time. And it revolves around our queen, Toru Honda, whose love and kindness for a bunch of broken people helps them to move on from a horrifying curse. Now don't get me wrong, there are a lot of dark moments in this show, but that's exactly why the wholesome moments leave such a huge impact. And that's exactly why whenever someone asks me to recommend a romance anime, this is my first suggestion. It's quite simply a modern classic. And that wraps up today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and you can bet your sweet wholesome ass that I'll see you in the next one.